What's up, dudes, and welcome back again. So today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite horror games on Nintendo Switch. There's a few games that I've already talked about in previous videos that I will be talking about again today in this video. This video is mainly for everyone that is new to the Nintendo Switch and are looking for horror games, or are a fan of horror games in general. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first game that I want to talk about, which is one of my favorite series of all time, Resident Evil. And that's going to be Resident Evil Origins Collection. I can't even begin to explain my love for Resident Evil. This is definitely one of the biggest heavy hitters in survival horror. Especially when it comes to the Switch, this is an amazing port. You get Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1. They both originally came out on the GameCube way back in the day, and they got ported to the Switch with upscaled graphics, and it looks amazing. The gameplay is really good, the graphics are really good, the sound, the music, everything is top notch. You get Resident Evil 0 on the cartridge, but Resident Evil 1 you actually have to download. It's kind of a drawback, but honestly, we're lucky that we even got this game on the Switch. I can't tell you how much I love these games. The environment is so cool. I think my favorite is going to be Resident Evil 0 because you start off on that train and then you get to experience the mansion for the first time before Resident Evil 1 actually takes place, which I find really cool. So yeah, if you're into horror games and you're looking for an amazing experience, a classic survival horror experience especially, Resident Evil Origins Collection definitely needs to be in your collection. And coming in at number 2 is going to be Blair Witch. Yes, this game is based off of the movie that came out back in the 90s, and that movie scared the absolute crap out of me. It came out at a perfect time because the internet was less accessible, so when you watched that movie, you didn't know if it was real or not. You couldn't just look up the actors or look up if the movie was fake or not because nobody actually knew. The 90s were a great time to grow up as a kid, especially video games, early 2000s, those were the days, anyone will tell you that. Anyways, on to the game. So you play as this guy, he's actually a sheriff or a cop detective, and there's a boy that went missing in the woods, and it's your job to go and find this kid. You have a dog companion with you, and he helps you guide you along the way in your different paths throughout the forest, and he can pick up scents. And I will say, this game is absolutely creepy. It starts off nice and sunny in the forest and everything, kind of sunset, but when it turns dark, man, it turns freaking dark. This game is super creepy. You'll start hearing stuff around you. This is a great game to play with headphones. It's super environmental. So when you're walking in the forest and it's super dark, all you hear is the creaking in the leaves and the footsteps, and you start hearing whispering behind you. You don't know if it's coming from the game or from actually in real life. It really creeps you out. Definitely one of the best horror games I believe to be on Nintendo Switch. This is actually a Japan exclusive, but the game does play in English. Definitely a must-have for all horror fans. And coming in at number 3 is going to be Madison. This game is awesome. If you want to get the crap scared out of you, play Madison. I'm telling you right now. It takes place in this random house, and you play as this kid. It's a really crazy story. I don't want to go too in detail because I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube, but definitely play this game. It is creepy. You have this camera that you take around with you, and you can actually take pictures of the different hallways that'll reveal different spirits and monsters, and that in itself is horrifying because you don't know where they're at, and you start hearing things behind you. It is great. Lots of puzzle solvings. Sometimes the puzzles do get a little hard, but when you do solve them, it's very satisfying. If you're looking for a game that you want to scare you that has a pretty good story and fun puzzles, Madison is definitely for you. And number 4 is going to be Yomawari, Lost in the Dark. This is a great game by NIS, or NIS, however you like to pronounce it. It's a horror game, and this one is absolutely terrifying. Do not let this cutesy art style fool you. This game will terrify you, I promise you. It follows this girl who actually woke up in the forest randomly, has no recollection or memory of how she got there. She ends up going to school the next day. Well, she finds out that she actually got cursed, and by 6 a.m. the next day, that curse will be permanent unless she finds some way to break it. The game takes place with her traveling the city in different forests trying to find clues on how to break this curse, and it is creepy. I'm telling you right now, this is definitely a game to play with headphones. It even advises you to play with headphones. You start hearing voices, different footsteps, heart beating, babies crying. It's very psychological as well too, like very eerie, unsettling. It is amazing. This one's got different types of horror in it. You got jump scares, psychological scares, environmental, creepy atmosphere, tension building, dread feeling. It's really, really good. And last but not least is gonna be White Day. This game is a Korean horror game, and it is really, really good. People will say that the mobile version is better, which I do agree, but having it on the Switch, it's still really good and runs great. So you play as this guy who's trying to give this gift to a girl at school, and White Day is actually the Koreans' version of Valentine's Day. So it's all, you know, cutesy, lovey and whatnot in the beginning, and then they start to discover that there's weird things going on in the school. So they decide to break in late at night and figure out the school's mysteries. You got ghosts, creepy janitors. It's crazy. There's a lot of escaping. This isn't necessarily a survival horror, but it's more so atmospheric horror. So you're gonna be running, dodging a lot and hiding, and solving different puzzles, trying to find keys to different rooms. It's really, really good. If you're into horror, this one definitely needs to be in your collection. So yeah, there you have it. There's 5 horror games that I recommend you guys checking out. This is going to be volume 1 of many, I'm sure. I've gotten quite a bit of new horror games since my last video a few months back, so I kind of want to start this new series, and this one's for all the newcomers and people that are looking for horror games in general. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And with that being said, I will see you guys in volume 2. Peace!